I am Robert Russell. I am an artist, although I'm hesitant to use that word. I usually say painter. I think I said artist because there's a camera rolling. So the show that we put together, it's a bit of a bric-a-brac in that it's some new stuff, some brand new stuff that I've been doing that I haven't really formulated any sound ideas about yet, but not that I ever really form any sound ideas about what I'm doing. And some recent works, not brand new works. It's all within the last 2 years. You're going to see something I made called Dumb David, which is a small painting of Michelangelo's David, painted all with alizarin crimson and white. And I've used that palette a lot. I did a series of paintings in 2005 called Pink. And so I think of that color as like a bad color, a wrong color, you know, like not conceptually rigorous color, not smart. I like that kind of stuff. I like, you know, I'm sort of a Hello Kitty vibe more than a like Sol LeWitt vibe, I guess. Most of my work uses photography as a reference, and for the cloud works I didn't. I wanted to see, I'm so envious of painters that can just paint whatever the f they want. And I've never been that kind of painter. I'm for whatever reason, I've kept a really strict rigor on the kinds of work that I'm allowed to do, and certainly not allowed to just make stuff up out of my own brain. I figured it out. I kind of cracked the code, and I figured out that if I created a field blue that was kind of a sky blue, whatever that means, and put a kind of a gradient in it so that the surface was somewhat irregular, it wasn't consistent throughout, I could sort of make any old squiggle of white titanium paint over the surface, and it would look like clouds in a kind of a verisimilitude-y way. You know, it would look like it had photo reference. So it was a way to kind of do both of those things at the same time and be inventive or whatever, or be a really scary word, expressive. I could do all that with these clouds. Yeah, so there's kind of the portrait realm, which I keep returning to and I really like doing. There's the still life realm, which I've been doing with these books, and there's some here. So the books are all made up, and I've done a couple shows of these now, where I make paintings of art catalogs. And the artists exist, but the monographs themselves don't exist. So I become a kind of a quasi-publisher, which is sort of like what I'm doing with the clouds too. I'm sort of being godlike in that I'm painting clouds, which is what I imagine that she's doing up there. Yeah, I would say that process is as important, if not more important, than what actually gets made. You know, there's that great, I think it's Richard Serra quote, that work begets work, and I always think about that because, you know, I so often have nothing in my head that makes sense to make a picture out of, and yet I want to get in the studio and make stuff. And so I just start making stuff, start making marks, and then it, as Sarah says, it begets other ideas, it begets other works.